Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Grace, for anybody that's new and passing by. And I thought today I would do a little chit chat video, or like, I don't know, just tell you about my experiences so far, because it's been almost a week since I did my moving to Malta video and starting mature student journey type thing. And I thought I would just update you on like what it's been like so far and my thoughts. So let's begin. So, like a quick background, because I don't think I've ever done like a proper background before. I am 27. I'm a nurse, or I was a nurse. My first degree was nursing, like back in the UK, and then I worked for a nurse. I worked as a nurse, not for a nurse, sorry, as a nurse for just under 5 years, so 4 years and a few months, I think, but it doesn't matter. And I think probably in second to third year of my nursing degree, I kind of realized that I wanted something else. I wanted something a little bit different, but it was still soon at that point to kind of make a decision about whether I was going to apply for medicine or not. And I think when I finished my nursing degree, as in the year that I qualified, the year that I graduated, I was kind of like, okay, for sure, I want to do something different, just something that's a lot more I guess science-based, because nursing is very hands-on care, and I wanted something that was a little bit more that focused a lot more on like the biology and biochem side of things, right? So I started my application when I qualified. So that's when I started my application journey, and I wasn't very consistent with it, because I think I applied 1 year, maybe didn't apply the next year, maybe applied the following year. It was very messy, and it took quite some time to kind of decide, this is it, I am doing it. But anyways, needless to say, this year, 2020 or end of 2019, I started my application, and I was like, one way or the other, I am going to uni. Because previously, when I did the other applications, I would only apply in the UK, so only universities within England, actually, never mind the UK, just within England alone. And then this time I was like, I'm gonna broaden my horizon and start applying for unis in different countries, because I knew 2 other people who had applied outside of the UK, and they came back and were like, it's great. So I was like, oh, okay, let me try. So I applied to Malta. No, I'm getting all confused and everything already. I applied to the University of Malta, right? And my application was going really well, and I stopped and I panicked about the whole Maltese speaking test, because University of Malta has a Maltese speaking test, and I hadn't done a single like class of Maltese. I hadn't looked at any of the apps, and I thought, I wonder how much of the application, like, you know, depends on this test, because if they really need you to pass this, then it might be a problem. So I withdrew my application for Malta and focused on my applications that were for this year. I applied to Ireland as well as a few universities in England. And I got an interview in Ireland, and I was like, oh my god, that was terrifying. That was my first ever interview, and that was absolutely terrifying. I feel like I'm rambling on for a little bit now. Let me wrap it up and just get to the questions. I had an interview that was not successful. We'll talk about that interview another day if we actually need to, or if we must, because the things that I was saying, like, well, one answer in particular was just stupid. I feel like the others were actually really well, but there was this one thing I did in particular that was so dumb. It was crazy. But anyways, yeah. And then I ended up applying via clearing for Malta again, but not University of Malta, Queen Mary University of London, or Barts, or the School of Medicine, Barts. And I had an interview. That was my second interview, and that was great. Like I don't want to toot my own horn, but that was great. They were so nice. Like in my interview, I felt a lot more relaxed. I wasn't like as scared. Not that the Irish people were nice. They were really lovely as well. But with this one, I was so much more relaxed, and I felt like I was prepared because I had had one interview before, so I was relaxed and I was like, okay, I can do this. I can do this. It was successful, and without even thinking about it, I was like, I am going. So like, I feel like it took a lot of my friends by surprise when I was like, I'm moving to Malta. And they're just like, okay, all right, you meant this year? I mean this year, I'm going this year, bye-bye. My mom was like, wait, what? This year? You're going this year? I'm like, yep, I'm going. This September, I should be going now. And she's just like, okay, anyways, that's happening. So that's basically how I got here. That was me rambling for way too long. Anyways, the first question, I wrote my questions on a piece of paper, by the way, because the memory. I said why medicine and not nursing. I feel like I answered that already, so let's not drag on about that. I put why at this age. The age I feel like is kind of a big deal because I was like, a lot of people that go into medicine, well, most people anyways, usually go in at like 18, 19, 20 kind of thing after they've taken maybe a gap year or two. But there are a few of us who are like mature students who come in at a later age. So usually around this age and later. You get people like in their early 20s as well, but that's still like, they're still deciding kind of thing. But obviously at this age, because one, this is when I finally decided to take it seriously, and two, I had like a long and serious conversation with myself about what I wanted, where I was in life, what I wanted in life, how I was going to get it, and how I was going to go about that, because I was unhappy for like a really long time with where I was. And when I sat down and spoke to myself about what have you done to change anything, I was like, very little. What can you do? Like, do you actually know what you want to do? Well, yes. Have you been kind of consistent with this? Not really. Do you want to try being consistent? And I was just decided, yes, I want to try and be consistent, because I was starting to get worried that, well, you know, I'm in my late 20s, I'm going to be in my early 30s in like the blink of an eye kind of thing. Should I be more, should I be prioritizing, you know, things like settling down, not settling down as in starting a family kind of thing. No, just kind of, I don't know, maybe getting serious about savings and putting money aside for like buying a house or paying off my car. Yeah, I just realized, like, have I paid my car payments this month? Yes. Like, should I be getting more serious about, you know, saving enough money for a house, paying off my car, putting money aside for other things? That's what was going through my head. And I was like, medicine is kind of a big commitment. It's going to be over 5 years. And think about the school fees, because it is not cheap. Think about where you're going to have to live. And I was just like, I've thought about all those things, and I've thought about what it's going to be like over the next 5 years, like in the next 5 years. If I make the decision not to go now, because I'm saying to myself, oh, you're 27, well, you really need to start thinking about more serious plans in life. When I'm like, I don't know, 30, 32, 33, I'm gonna be thinking to myself, why didn't you just do it back then? Like, I know myself, and I'll be thinking, why didn't you just do it back then? And I hate regret. It's like the worst thing in the world, because it steals your happiness in that moment. And it also starts stealing in like before the next moment even comes. You're already like, you feel bad now. You're already worrying about the future, and you regret what happened in the past. And I hate that. So that was like my worst nightmare. That really motivated me to be like, nope, we're taking that shot this year. It is what it is. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. So that was my second question. Why at this age? I feel. Hello beauties, I've just taken a little break just to introduce you to Floriculture Co. It is my t-shirt shop on Etsy, and I just have these bright, colorful floral t-shirts. Please check it out. But this is also part of my therapy sessions with myself. So what were my fears before coming to Malta, before coming to Gozo? A completely different island. Ooh. I was worried because I hadn't been in education for almost 5 years, and I was coming to do a course that is notoriously difficult. So that was my main thing. In lectures at the moment, a lot of people usually say, this is something that we should have covered in A-level. So now you're just going through like a refresher period. And I'm like, covered in what A-levels? Like, I can't remember the last time I was in a classroom. And I just remember they say that because the majority of the students have literally just done their A-levels, and I'm like, yeah, okay, you know, where am I supposed to get this information from? So that was my biggest fear. My second fear was finances. So I've been working as a nurse for the past like 5 years, right? I'm accustomed to my salary. I like having money every month. It's a good feeling. I hate going to work, but I love the money, right? And like the shifts that I was doing and like my experience so far, I normally get around like £2,000 a month, or between 1,900 to like 2,100. That's if you do night shifts, and I'm full-time as well. Oh, there's a bug, go away. Yeah, so 1,900 to about 2,100. And that's what I get per month. So I'm like, it's not enough. I don't care what you say, it's not enough. But it pays for a lot of stuff that I have and that I need, right? A student, on the other hand, has zero. You have zero income, especially if you're a student in a foreign country where they don't have bursaries and they don't have any kind of other funding. It's just you and your mama and your daddy, and well, we should have put Jesus first. It's really just you and Jesus first, then your mom and your dad. So I was like, I have zero money. Like, that's something that I'm still thinking about every month. That bug is really bugging me. Every month I'm like, well, this is gonna be interesting. No income. But so far so good. God provides. Amen. And then third biggest fear, the whole socializing thing. I'm gonna put these down because I'm not eating them. The whole socializing thing. So this is first year of uni for a lot of people. Freshers events, right? Going to uni during COVID is a weird and bizarre experience because people still want to socialize. I personally could not care less because I wasn't a social butterfly even when I was like 18. I wasn't a party animal even when I was like 18, 19, 20. I hated going out. So this year I was like, I wonder how I'm gonna like meet new people and make new friends when we're supposed to be kind of locked down, because we don't go in for lectures, and lectures are usually how you'd be able to meet people and your different learning classes and stuff. We have face-to-face teaching like twice a week, and it's usually with the same group, and that's about it. So I'm like, how are you supposed to meet other people outside of these groups? So I was really worried about that, because I was like, if you're not a social butterfly to begin with, uni is probably the only way you're going to meet new people, because if people are planning parties and all sorts of things outside, people like me, let's be honest, are like, ugh, I need to be in bed with a cup of tea by now. And also, I don't like people. I don't like new people. I like making new friends, but I don't like meeting new people. So I was worried about that, but it hasn't been that bad. Like, it hasn't been that bad at all, actually. I think because it's a small cohort, everyone's quite friendly, and it's quite easy to meet new people. Like, we meet on the bus, when you're actually in the uni itself, in the teaching center itself. Everyone's super friendly, and if they haven't seen you before, they're like, hi, I'm this, what's your name, where have you been? And the school kind of does like an intro. They send an email whenever someone new is coming, so everyone's like on the lookout for them, like, hi. All the introverts are like, what is this? But it's great. It actually wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. Question number 4. Oh, I already answered that, so we can skip that. What was I most excited about? I was excited about the summer. Malta is hot. Malta is supposed to be like a sunshine island, and right now it's their winter. I think they've started winter or they're entering winter. Either way, I'm wearing this. It's like a t-shirt dress. My heating is off and the door is open, and this is their winter, or we're entering winter. And believe you me, I do not play with winter when we're back in England. So as soon as they said winter was coming, I was like, oh God, no, I need to go shopping for winter clothes. No, I'm still walking around in shorts. I'm like, this is great. This is great. It's fabulous. I love the weather here. I'm like, ooh. I don't like the mosquitoes though. The mosquitoes are disgusting, but because it's colder now, they don't come out. They don't bother me anymore. What else was I most excited about? Travel. Apart from the weather, Malta is an amazing island. Like, it is stunningly beautiful. This is someone who's literally just been to like one side, like just one section of the coast, and that's about it. But it's gorgeous. And as soon as I'm kind of caught up with all my lectures and stuff like that, I want to go on hikes. And I'll insert a few clips of what I've just been seeing since I've been here in this video as well, just so you can see some of the scenery. But it's really, really pretty. The people are super friendly and very welcoming. In fact, I said friendly already, very welcoming. Should I say accommodating? I mean, it's not really accommodating because they speak English anyway, but I feel like they speak in English a lot more because they know some of us, all of us, do not speak Maltese. So they're super accommodating. But yeah, really excited about that. Excited about going to a good university. Motorbikes, quad bikes. Yeah, holiday destination. Yeah. What else was I most excited about? Just finally getting on with this. Finally starting medical school. I was like, about time, because we've been talking about it for a really long time. So I was super excited to just get it over and done with. And that was about it. And then thoughts on medical school during COVID. Obviously, like when I started my application, I was under the impression, well, there was no need for me to be under any other kind of impression, because nothing was happening in the world. Yeah, it was like in the mid 2019, that's when I was going for like my admission tests and stuff like that, and actually filling in my forms. Yeah, because when I went for my admission test, it was just normal. So at that point, the world was exactly the way it's supposed to be, normal. And then as we got closer to like interviews and stuff like that, the world was going pear-shaped because we had to do it over Zoom. Yeah. Anyways, obviously when I started the application, I thought it was just going to be normal. And then as we, what am I trying to say? As we kind of proceeded with the applications, I started to realize that obviously things were not going to be the same even at uni. And at that point, I was just like, I think I was just so focused on let's just get it done this year. Let's just go this year and be done with it and start instead of procrastinating any further. If I had been a bit more restrained, and looked around me to see what was happening, I think it might have put me off applying for uni, to be honest, because it's a massive difference. I'm comparing this experience of university to what it was like when I did my nursing degree, and it's polar opposites. Like just it's different. Okay, all the lectures are online. The majority of things are online. If you were already worried about not having been in education for quite some time, it's kind of like a double whammy, because you're like, okay, I need to revise, but also now I need to learn all this modern and current technology. And if you're not a computer savvy person, as it is, you're just kind of like a fish out of water for the first couple of months, at least for the first couple of weeks, sorry, at least I was, because everything was like, okay, you're an online student, all the lectures are kind of online, you need to join Zoom classes or Blackboard or whatever that is and learn how to function them. And I'm literally that person who's like pressing buttons. I have no idea what they are doing to the other classmates, but I'm just like press every button and try and see what it does. It was just a little bit overwhelming at first, and I was like, what is this? And you struggle to kind of buckle down and study or learn the way you would have once you actually started uni, because again, medicine is like a hefty course, and usually when people start, when the teaching actually starts, people buckle down and they get going. I think for me it's been quite difficult because I'm just like, it doesn't feel like I've started uni. It doesn't feel like that's the case, because it's entirely up to me when I'm gonna do those lectures online. And yeah, it's a bit, you find it hard to motivate yourself sometimes, I think. And that's not necessarily because you're just not a very motivated person. It's just you're missing that element of being in university and being given direction. Because yes, when you're at uni, they rely on you to do a lot of independent learning, but it's still constructed by someone else. It's still directed by someone else, and you're in a classroom with a lot of other people who are supposed to be doing the same thing, and you don't want to be the only one who hasn't done anything, so you're kind of pushed to do something. Whereas now it's a bit, you really need to focus a lot more. So that was something else. But help is available. I make it sound like such a bad thing, but help is available. Literally every lecturer is like, if you need something, email me, get in touch with me, say something sooner. It's just a bit, for me, it's a bit weird because I'm like, I would have watched the lecture. If it was real life, you'd put your hand up and be like, I'm confused about this. By the time I go back to uni, I'm like, I can't remember what the question was. Now I have to go back and go through it and then try and figure out what I was doing. It's a lot of adjustment, basically. It's a lot of adjustment. If you don't know anything else, then it's fine. It's fine if you don't know anything else. But that's about it. So, interesting experiences. Not feeling overwhelmed is the main thing. Not feeling overwhelmed, not regretting anything. Oh, good God. Not regretting anything. That is the best bit about this. I have zilch regrets. What else? And just kind of excited to see what happens. I mean, right now England is going into a full lockdown, and right now in Malta we wear face coverings or like masks everywhere. They want you to wear a mask outside of your house when you're just walking in the street, so it's a mess. That part I'm not excited about, obviously. But interesting times. Also for me, Jesus does not make mistakes. He does not make mistakes. So if he wanted me to be here at this time, knowing what he knows, knowing how I feel about that, there must be a reason why he decided you need to be over there. You need to be in uni now. So that's something else that I think about. Anyways, I think that is me. I've rambled on for a long time. And that's pretty much it for my experiences and for my, for my thoughts so far on the course and moving away from home and starting a completely different thing, like at this point in my life. Yeah, that's about it. If anyone watches this who is doing the same thing, I would love to hear from you. Just like your thoughts, your feelings, or if you've gone through it and you've finished and you're on the other side now, tell me how it was. Was it worth it? I don't know. If you watch this, please tell me. Yeah, and if you have any other questions and you're like thinking about doing it as well, feel free to post them down below and I will respond, because let's be honest, I will be here. Anyways, thank you for watching. Bye bye.